this video, we will discuss about make string a subsequence using cyclic increments. You are given two zero-index strings, string 1 and string 2. In an operation, you can select a set of indices from string 1 and for each index I in the set, increment it to the next character cyclically. That is, A becomes B, B becomes C, and so on, and Z becomes A. Return true if it is possible to make string 2 a subsequence of string 1 by performing the operation at most once, and false otherwise. So what they are saying is that in the input we are given two strings, string 1 and string 2. We can perform an operation on string 1 that we can select some characters and we can change them to the next character. Meaning we can change A to B, B to C, C to D, and so on, and Z can be changed to A. So basically we are incrementing it cyclically, right? So now they are saying is that after doing this operation on any number of characters at most one time, can we make string 2 as a subsequence of string 1? If yes, then return true, otherwise false. Now what is a subsequence? So a subsequence is a string that is formed by taking some characters from here, not necessarily continuous, while maintaining the relative order of the characters. So here A, Z, C, this is a subsequence. A, X, Z, E, C, this is also a subsequence. EC is also a subsequence, but CX, this is not a subsequence. Why? Because we have disturbed the order of the elements. X should come before C only, right? So that is what a subsequence is. So we need to check that after performing these operations on any number of characters at most once, can string 2 become a subsequence of string 1, right? So what we can do is that we can just start traversing into both of the strings, right? So we will take two pointers. I will be pointing to the starting of string 1 and J would be pointing to the starting of string 2, right? Now you will check whether these two characters are equal or not. So for any two characters, what are the conditions do you have? So one is that they are already equal, right? And another one is that if they are not equal, then what if I increment it to the next character? After incrementing it to the next character, are they becoming equal or not? Right? So these are the two conditions that we have. First is that they are already equal, and the second is that after incrementing, are they equal? Right? Now in this after incrementing, you would be having two cases. One is the normal case where A is converted to B, B to C, and so on, and the other case is when the character is Z. In that case, you would need to convert it to A, right? So that we will see in the code. How are we going to do? So for now, our A and A is matching. So when both the characters are matching, we can move both I and J forward, right? So now I will come here and J will come here. Now we will see that X and A are not matching, right? So let's increment X to the next character. So it will become Y. Is Y and A matching? No. Then that means we should not move J forward, but we will move our I forward. So I will come here now. Now is Z and A matching? No. Let's increment Z to the next character. Next character would be A. So now is A equals to A? Yes, it is. So then that means we can move both I and J forward. So now I will come here and J will come here. Now E and F are not equal. So we will check if E plus 1, that is next character, that is F equals to F or not. Yes, it is. So again we will move our both the pointers forward. So I will come here, J will come here. Again C and C are equal. We will move our pointers forward. So I will come here, J will come here. And now we will see that we are done with the string 1. Now after we are done with the entire string 1, if our J has reached the end of string 2, then that means we were able to find this string 2 as a subsequence inside this string 1. And if J is still somewhere in the middle of string 2, then that means we were not able to find any such subsequence. So in that case, we can return a false, right? So let's quickly look at the code. First of all, let's take the length of both the strings. So int length 1 equals to str1 dot length, that is first string's length, and in length 2 we will keep second string's length. Then let's create a pointer for the second string, which will be denoted by J, and it will start from 0. And then we will run a for loop of I starting from 0 until when are we going to go? While our I is less than length 1 and J is also less than length 2, right? And at each iteration we will do I plus plus, right? Now inside this we need to check two conditions. The first condition is that if str1 of I is equals to str2 of J, That means the characters are already equal. Otherwise, we will check after incrementing them. So if str1 of I plus 1 is equals to str2 of j, right? And in this, we also need to handle the case of incrementing z to a, right? So see, the ASCII value of z is 122. We are considering only lowercase letters, right? So the ASCII value of small z is 122 and that of small a is 97, right? The difference between these two is 25. So what we can do is that we can check that if str1 of I minus 25, right? So if str1 of I was a z, then after minus 25, it will become a, right? So we'll check that if this is equals to str2 of j, right? If any of these conditions are satisfied, in that case, we will have to move our j pointer forward, right? Now at the end, we need to check that if the j has reached the end of the string 2, then we have got the subsequence, otherwise we have not got the subsequence, right? So here we are looping for string 1 and string 2. So if we consider that string 1 is having n number of characters and string 2 is having m number of characters, then the overall time complexity of our code will be order of n plus m, right? And we are not using any extra space, so our space complexity is constant. So let's quickly run the code. So our test cases are accepted. Let's submit this. So it got accepted. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video and subscribe our channel.